Hi, we're students from Yuki Sensei's Japanese Culture Through Film class, and today we'll be asking and answering some questions that Yuki Sensei gave us, and we'll introduce ourselves as well.
This is David.
Val.
This is Prince.
All right, and now we'll start with answering some questions. So our first question is your favorite movies from your class and why?
For me, it was the Eternal Zero because it made me emotional and gave me a different glimpse of Japan during World War II, unlike other American movies portraying that time period.
Okay, I picked the documentary Jiro's Dreams of Sushi because it was the only happy movie that we actually watched in this class. And I feel like if I ever did go to Japan, I would really like to go to his sushi bar because it looks awesome.
For me, it was Nobody Knows. I think the main reason why I picked that is because of the way that the movie reeled me in and wanted me to root for the kids so that they would succeed. But unfortunately, one of the kids died in the end, so it made me emotional at the end because of that.
Our next question is what you learned about Japan that was the most interesting.
For me, it was the concept of Uchi to Soto because because it's not like here in America where you could be total strangers and like after a few words you guys can become friends. And like over there, it's like it takes a long while to get to become part of the same group or something like that. So that's what I found interesting.
I just said the most interesting thing I learned was how different Japanese social cues and customs are from Americans. Like, I think this class is really important to take if you ever actually do decide to come to Japan.
I think for me, the most important things, or most interesting things I learned in this class was the 98% conviction rate and the concept of gambari, which was like how hardworking the Japanese people are at trying to achieve their goals.
Okay, and our next question is what you want to know more about.
Well, what I really want to know more about is the Japanese view on the military presence in Japan, with it being the American military force or the self-defense force.
For me, I would just like to know more about Japan's counterculture because I've seen videos and stuff on it. It just seems really cool. So I just want to know what your guys' opinion on it is.
For me, I really want to know more about the food. I know we learned about sushi from Jiro, but I want more about food in terms of geography there. I know there was rice, but other things I'm pretty sure food in every country also tells their culture. So
Yeah, that's true.
I wanted to know more about that.
Yeah, it depends if you're north or south. Yeah. Okay, our next question is if you had to choose key concepts to choose about the U.S. to teach Japanese students, what would you be?
What would it be? Probably the concept would be individualism, unity, diversity, and possibly the idea of discussing ideas.
Yeah, for me, I picked diversity because, America's a melting pot and we accept people from all over the world. So I feel like that's something that really represents what we do.
Yeah, for me, I went with individuality. I want to know about more about individuality over there too.
Okay, question number 5 is what movies would you recommend to Japanese students to watch that portray these concepts?
Hmm. I would probably go with a movie. I think it was called War Horse. Another one called Interstellar, and pretty much any Disney movie.
Yeah, the one I picked was Coming to America because it shows the dynamic between immigrants and Americans and how people from all walks of life come to America to become something.
I picked Coming to America, mainly because how the daughter in the movie she didn't want to follow her father. She wants to be her own person. So that's
Yeah, I agree. All right, and then our last question is do we have any questions to ask you guys about Japanese culture?
Uh, I want to probably invite anyone, with this question. So my question is there a type of coming of age festival or ceremony or something like that?
My question was, I just was wondering what you guys think of Americans. Like, I know that we don't exactly have the best, stereotypes, so I was just curious what you guys thought.
My question was like, what big movies do you guys think like impacted Japan the most?
That's all of our questions, so now we'd like to hear back from you guys. Yay! The end.